Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about something that might just completely change how you look at trading. We're going to break down a powerful framework that focuses on two absolutely critical parts of success that, honestly, most traders just never get. All right, let's just jump right in and tackle a frustration that I know every single trader has felt. Think about it. When you learn pretty much any other skill, say programming, or even learning an instrument, there's a clear pattern, right? You learn a rule, you apply it, and you get a pretty reliable result. So why on earth doesn't trading work like that? I mean, in most jobs, if you follow the blueprint, you get the building. You write the code, the program runs. It's predictable. Action, result. Simple. But trading? Oh man. In trading, you can follow your rules to the letter, execute a setup that looks perfect, and still get a totally different result every time. One trade is a huge winner, the next one, doing the exact same thing, is a loss. It's that inconsistency that is it's maddening, and it's why so many traders just spin their wheels and feel totally stuck. So what gives? Why is it so inconsistent? Well, here's the thing. It's because most of us are taught to focus on completely the wrong part of the game. We're all out here chasing this idea of a perfect strategy in a part of trading that can never be perfect. Just think about it for a second. Go on YouTube. What do you see? It's endless videos on smart money concepts, the best new indicator, magical chart patterns. They all attack the exact same tiny piece of the puzzle. They all live in this world of analysis, trying to predict what the market is going to do next. Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. That whole world of analysis we just talked about, the thing that everyone obsesses over, it turns out that only accounts for about 30% of your long-term success. 30%. So you could have the world's greatest strategy, but if that's all you've got, you're literally only playing with a tiny fraction of what it actually takes to be consistent. So that brings us to the other 70%, the huge missing piece of the puzzle. This is the real engine of profitability, and it's the part almost everyone ignores. It's what we call the management pillar. And this is where you finally get to take back some control. So what exactly is management? It's simple, really. It's the only part of trading that you have 100% control over. See, your analysis, your strategy, that just gives you a probable edge, a maybe. But your management system, that gives you a consistent result from your own actions every single time. It's not about trying to predict the market anymore. It's about managing yourself. Okay, but before we can even start building that management system, we have to tear down an even bigger myth. We need to talk about what's actually happening on our charts. And trust me, getting this is a total game changer. This idea right here it's huge. Think about this. The market does not recognize anything that we're seeing on our charts. Not the candlesticks, not the indicators, not the trend lines. It's all just an overlay we put on top. The market itself, it's completely blind to all of it. We're trained to see this really complex world, right? We see Japanese candlesticks, we look at different time frames, we hunt for order blocks and liquidity zones. We build these super complicated strategies around all these concepts, thinking that this stuff is what's actually driving the market. But what does the market itself see? If it doesn't see any of that, what's left? It operates on a principle that is so much simpler, so much more fundamental. Price levels. That's it. The only thing the market sees, the only language it speaks, is price. Just those numbers running up and down the side of your screen. At its absolute core, the market is just a mechanism for getting from one price to another. All that other stuff, the candles, the patterns, the indicators, that's just stuff we invented to try and make sense of that movement. Okay, so if the market only sees price, how in the world does that help us figure out which way it's going? Well, believe it or not, it actually makes things a whole lot simpler. I want you to forget all the complex analysis for just a second. At its very heart, market direction is it's the story of who's winning a battle over price. Within any chunk of time you pick, an hour, a day, a minute, doesn't matter, it's just buyers and sellers fighting it out. And the direction, that's just who won the fight. And this really simple logic, this idea of a fight, is the engine behind every single trend you see. I mean, if the bulls won the last round, let's say price closed higher in the last hour, then there's a higher probability they're going to win the next hour too. A trend is just one side winning over and over and over again until the other side, the bears, finally lands a punch big enough to turn things around and shift the momentum. All right, so let's tie all of this together. how do we combine these two big ideas, the 30-70 split between analysis and management, and this true story of price? It all comes down to a really simple but really powerful analogy.
Think of it like this. Analysis is one hand. This is your ability to read that simple story of price, to figure out who's winning the battle right now. This is your 30%. This is your edge.
Management is the other hand. This is your discipline system, your personal rules for risk, for how you get in and how you get out. This is the part that guarantees you get a consistent result from your actions, no matter what happens on any one trade. This is your 70%. And here's the kicker. If you try to clap with just one hand, what happens? Nothing. You don't make a sound. It's the exact same in trading. You can have the best analysis on the planet, but with no management, you'll never be consistent. And you can have the discipline of a monk, but without a decent analytical edge, you've got nothing to manage in the first place. You need both hands to make a sound. You need both to make it work. So here's the question I want to leave you with. This is the big takeaway. I want you to look at your own trading and be really honest with yourself. Which hand have you been ignoring? Have you been trying to clap with just one hand? Have you been so obsessed with finding that perfect strategy, that 30%, that you've totally neglected to build a rock-solid management system for the other 70%? Because answering that question, that just might be the first real step you take on a new path to consistency.